Gary Allen here at the KGAS studios. Alongside me, Jason Causey, the head baseball coach of the Carthage Bulldogs. Well, the Dogs are now in the third round of the Class 4A Region 3 playoffs. First of all, we're going to go back, though, and take a look at last weekend, Madisonville, 2 games down there against the Giddings Buffaloes. And in Game 1, tough start for Javarian Rockmore. He walked the first 3 batters. The fourth one got a single. And believe it or not, out of all of that, they only got 1 run, mainly because Todd Register gunned down the leadoff hitter trying to steal second base. And incidentally, I don't think they tried to steal any after that man was thrown out. He had 24 pitches in the first inning. He walked 7 in the ball game, so he had a tough go there, but only gave up 3 hits. And Carthage won it 8-1. He had to come out after 6 innings because of the pitch count. Matthew Smith came in 1-2-3 in the 7th. And some good news offensively. We beat a left-hander. He went the distance, and we've had a couple of lefties this year that have given us some trouble, but beat a lefty there. And Connor Cuff, who was 0 for 8 against Robinson, was 2 for 3 with a sacrifice fly and 3 RBIs. It was a big win, Jason.
It was. It was a good win, especially whenever you're going into the series. Anytime you can win the first game to kind of get some momentum on your side is great. Like you said, J-Rock did struggle a little bit, and we were very fortunate to get out of those situations without, with only 1 run, and it was a matter of time before we felt like we would scratch away some runs. I was really proud of how we did things offensively. So it was a really good day.
All right, let's talk about Game 2. Braden Wade went 6 innings, gave up only 1 run, struck out 5, and did not walk a batter. And he has struggled a few times this year with some control, but did not walk 1 batter. Carthage won it 10-1. Every Carthage batter reached base. And remember, we defeated a lefty the first day. Corbin Doobie, a lefty, came in. We got 6 runs off of him. He came in relief. And last year, he was the most valuable pitcher in District 24A. So a big win there, 10-1. And everyone contributed. Again, the bottom part of the order in that 10-1 game, Ty Chambers, a walk, a run scored. Cade Moore, 2 runs scored, a walk. Jacarian Rockmore, 2 hits, including a double, RBI. Bottom third has really come alive, Jason, in the last few weeks.
It has. It has. Game 2, it all started with Wade. I mean, he did an excellent job. I mean, that's the best he's pitched in his last 2 or 3 outings. I mean, he went out and really controlled the strike zone. And whenever he controls the strike zone the way he did last week, he's good. And offensively, like you said, the bottom half of our order, it's starting to come around. I was really proud of our bats that we were having, and then we had a lot of what I call quality at bats just as far as our situational hitting. Anytime we needed to get a ground ball to score a run, we did that, or if we need to get a sac fly to score a run, or if we need to get a bunt down, or hit a ground ball to second base or whatever it may be to get a guy over. I was really, really proud of our bats, honestly, the whole series, this time of the year, it's you want to be able to swing the bats well. And like you said, we've had some tough times with some left-handed arms, and it was good to see us, go out and have some good approaches and take care of some things offensively. And it's not going to get any easier because we're going to see another good left-hander tomorrow.
All right, Nick, I've got to ask you about this because I couldn't figure out what was going on. I'm with the headset on. I can't hear what the umpire is saying, what coaches are saying, but the Giddings coach came out one time, visited with the home plate ump. Home plate ump called the other 3 umps in. Giddings coach visited with all 4 umps. Then the 4 umps visited by themselves. It immediately was right after Jacarian Rockmore had a double to left center field, and I didn't see anything unusual about that. So I have still no idea what that was all about. Tell us.
Their coaches were a little upset with the strikes, the strike zone. They felt like, they were getting squeezed a little bit on the strike zone. And so The catcher was kind of arguing balls and strikes as well, and so the catcher and the home plate umpire exchanged words, and so it was kind of one of those things where I guess he came out trying to protect his player or figure out what was being said between the two. I'm not real sure. But.
Excuse me, okay. So were the umps when those two umps or the four umps were talking among themselves? Were they deciding? What were they deciding to do?
I really don't know. It didn't pertain me, and it didn't pertain to anyone on my team, so I really didn't worry about it a whole lot.
I mean, were they about to throw the catcher out of the ball game?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
No idea. Like I said, it didn't have anything to do with me or anything to do with anybody in our ball club, so I really didn't worry about it.
Well, the catcher and the ump, of course, are obviously. That's the two closest people to each other on the field. I mean,
yes.
They're right next to each other. And I must admit, I saw the catcher, upset a couple of times, but I didn't know that much conversation was going on. But they try not to. Obviously, you don't want to get in the umpire's face.
I think there was quite a bit of conversation going on about the strike zone between those two.
Of course, you proved to us this year that you don't necessarily have to get in the ump's face to be tossed.
Well, I did tell you this. I will say this.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know. But I will say this. Whenever their head coach came out to argue balls and strikes, and the umpire said, "Now don't you come out here." And I got to thinking, well, I got tossed for a lot less than this. So
that's exactly what I thought about too.
Yes. So
you weren't anywhere close to being out there when you were tossed over. It was Rusk, wasn't it? Yes. Okay.
Yes,
and yes, their coach did come out. All right. Well, enough of that. Let's talk about the Hudson Hornets. And Jason, the first 2 weeks, my wife has asked me, "Okay, how we done to do?" And I said, "Well, honey, if we play well, we're winning this for sure." And this week, I tell you what, if we play well. I think we'll win, but this is going to be a tough one. And if looking back, when we played them in 2 games against Hudson, we scored 1 run, and I had us with just 3 hits. And in the first game against Kobe Turner, their left-hander, we struck out 10 times. 10 out of the 21 outs were strikeouts. We struck out 6 times in the second game. So no team came close in district play to holding us to 1 run in 2 ball games. They've got some pitching, don't they?
They do. That's they're really good. We're familiar with them, and they're familiar with us. The good thing is we've seen him before. We've been able to go back and watch some film and look at video and things of that nature. So it's not like this time, the first time we see him, there shouldn't be any surprises. We should know, as far as what he's going to try to do to get us out. But he's still good, and he's still going to have to execute. But I think we'll be a little bit more prepared this go around than we were last.
Speaking of video, do you visit with individual players looking at video? Okay, Brooks, this is what he did against you. Do you go with individual players or with the whole team?
In this particular situation, we've basically just we've just told them, hey, here's what you need to do. You need to go back and you need to watch your at bats, and it's kind of on their own, kind of individually, on their own time. Is kind of what we're doing with it at this point in time. So, we watched them. We did go back at one point in the season and watch it as a group, and kind of talk about what we need to do different and this and that, But this particular situation, each kid, we just told them, hey, you need to go back and watch your at bats and see what he was trying to do to, whenever he was trying to get you out, what he was trying to do.
Now, I will say this, we only got 1 run in 2 games, but we've definitely hit the ball better in the last month than we did against Hudson.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. We talk about a lot, this is, we're a lot different team than when we were earlier in the year whenever we played them in the first round of district. We're a lot better team now than what we were then. We're swinging the bats. the best we have all year, and that's what you want. I mean, this time of the year, you want to be playing your best baseball, and I think we are.
Now, you mentioned that we'll be seeing him for the second time. I'm talking about Kobe Turner. I suppose you think he's going to start tomorrow night?
That's what he's been doing all throughout the course of the playoffs. He's been throwing game one, yes.
Okay. So, are you thinking about throwing someone they haven't seen?
Well, we don't really have anyone that they haven't seen. So, I mean, they saw Brooks last year.
Oh, they saw him last year.
They saw Brooks last year. So we're going to go with what's been working for us. And, I mean, at the end of the day is we got to try to win 2 games. And I feel like if we can get it to I think we have just as much depth on the mound as they do, if not more. So, honestly, I hope we can win it in 2 games, but if for some reason we can't win it in 2, I think if we get to 3 games, I like our chances.
Okay, good analysis. Any final comments? Now, incidentally, these are, make sure everyone knows that the first game was going to be at 4. It's now switched to 7, so it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7 o'clock Thursday, 7 o'clock Friday, and noon on Saturday, because they've got graduation Saturday night.
Graduation Saturday night, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yes. And incidentally, this is a field, I broadcasted a Gary playoff series down there at Nacogdoches, and of all the turf fields that I've seen, this is one that I really like personally, I like their color combination on the field.
It's really nice.
It's a nice field.
It is. We played there earlier in the year. We ended up, we were supposed to go to Spring Hill and play in a tournament, and the weather kind of washed us out there, so we ended up going to Nacogdoches, and, it's a nice place.
All right, and I tell you what, they started off Region 3, Class 4A playoffs. There were 32 teams, and we're down to 8 now.
3 of those teams are from our district.
Correct. I meant to do a stat on that. I'm sure we've got to be the only district with 3 left.
I would imagine, yes. We have 3 teams still playing, yes.
Okay, and so next week, whoever wins this one gets either Belleville or, is that Hardin Jefferson?
El Campo.
El Campo.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. They're actually in the same district, and they're playing each other.
Okay.
And then you have Orangefield and Hardin Jefferson. That's who the winner of China Springs and Rusk will play.
Okay. All right. Now, speaking of China Spring and Rusk, that's just one game. I'm sure you know, I have no idea, but I'm guessing Rusk went for 1 game, China Spring 1 to 3, Rusk 1 to flip.
I would assume that is correct. Okay. That's what happened last year, so I assume that's what happened again this year.
And I think we know who will be starting for Rusk.
No doubt. Last year they played like 10 innings, so they ended up. They ended up seeing there just about everybody. So.
China Spring lost to Taylor in Game 1. Then they came back, didn't they?
They did.
Okay. All right. Any final words about the Carthage Bulldogs?
If you get a chance, come out and see us. Really enjoy your support. Right down the road. Nacogdoches, not too far off. Hudson don't have a good crowd, so we need to make sure we come match that. And we won 11 in a row and playing well at the right time.
11 in a row and 17 of 19, I believe, something like that.
17 of 19. I'll tell you one more interesting fact. We started the year 1-5-1. Since then, we've gone 21-3-1.
1-5-1 and then you were 4-6-2 at one point,
yes.
too, and that's right. And then since then, 17
21-3-2. 21-3-1. Excuse me.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's good. That's real good. All right, and I tell you what, Jason just made a great point. You talked about the other teams in our district, and I tell you what, this team, their fans, they may be the best followers in the district, because
they're good.
They will be there in force. Okay, hope you will be too on Thursday night, 7 o'clock down in Nacogdoches. For Coach Causey, I'm Larry Allen. Have a great weekend, everyone.